Okay, looks like we're back. I can make a whole bunch of jokes right now. Hey guys, we're back. We're back. I got my thug music playing now. Can't stop us, man. Come on. Can't stop us.
You know, we love our neighborhood, but man,
Very nice neighborhood.
it's a very nice neighborhood. But all of a sudden, and it happens often. It hasn't happened like this for a while.
Not that often.
But it happens more than, Anyway, all of a sudden you hear this boom, right? And then everything goes off. But they're real good about, correcting it.
Yeah.
And putting the neighborhood back up again. And then I'm wondering, how far do we live from the base? Because we hear all kinds of stuff. But it's our neighborhood in itself. This area is called Haymont. It's a very nice area. Aside from, those little quirks that come up.
Yeah. The other thing, I hate to make it sound like it's bad, but when it rains, tends to dark. Well, it has to be raining a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the power will go out, but it comes right back on. So I really don't complain about it. As long as we had the power out. 30 minutes, maybe.
What can you do? What can you say?
Can't do anything anyway, right? But
right.
Hey, we're back. That was the first big tech glitch that we've had so far in the history of the Coffee Chat. The whole history of the Coffee Chat.
Right. So we were talking about, before we were so rudely interrupted, we were talking about Lumi.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't talk about Lumi anymore. They probably sent the message down to shut us down. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
But so my personal opinion on that, I think that they have some excellent marketing, but again, I feel like we need to be careful when it comes to products that's supposed to when it comes to products like that in those types of areas. That's all. Use with caution. Mm-hmm. And that is really all that I have to say about that. And of course, just kind of piggybacking off of what Rashad was saying, is that when you have good hygiene, right? When you have good, it goes back to your hygiene. But in addition to your hygiene, it also has a lot to do with the foods that you eat and the medications that you take if you find yourself with those types of issues. Rashad say he ain't scared of them. Oh. Yep. So
yeah, that Lumi was just interesting to me, so I just wanted to bring that up. But we had something else on tap as well, right, to talk about.
Well, the other thing that I found interesting, right, was what people are talking about right now, and that is people are talking about Chris Rock. So I don't know, y'all tell me, y'all want to talk about Chris Rock, what Chris Rock is doing out here in these streets, in these comedian streets?
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Sure they do.
Of course they do.
Go ahead.
So evidently, when this whole thing happened with the slap heard around the world, right? Everybody, they didn't even really blame Will Smith for Will Smith getting up on stage and slapping the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth for the distasteful joke that he said about Jada and her alopecia.
Okay.
They didn't dog in the media, on social media. Suddenly, it all became Jada's fault. Jada was ruining his career. Jada had done all of these things when Jada really didn't do anything but sit there and look disgusted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're saying that, you know, since this incident happened with Chris and Will, you know, I'm sure that Chris has continued to work, but we weren't really hearing about him, you know, in the media or on social media. Because, you know, actors, comedians, stuff like that, they don't necessarily quit working. They might be out of the spotlight, but they still have to pay their bills. So they're still
Right.
working. He went back on tour, you know, doing his comedic thing. And this past, I think, Sunday, he was in either Philly or Pennsylvania, wherever he was. And he, I guess they were asking him about, somebody said that they had asked him to come on the Oscars, the award show again next year. And what he said just took people into a tailspin. He said him going back to the Oscars is equivalent to Nicole Brown Simpson going back to the restaurant where she left her glasses. And if y'all recall, Nicole Brown Simpson was brutally murdered. She was brutally stabbed to death, however many years ago. You know, we all remember those of us who are old enough to remember is that high-speed chase on the interstate in California where it looked like OJ was driving 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was not high speed.
But
that was the worst high-speed chase ever.
Now, I know that people have their opinions about if OJ really did it or not, you know, and that's not what we're talking about. The reality is still that Nicole Brown Simpson was brutally murdered, as well as, you know, the guy that she was with, him being attacked as well. So people are up in arms about the comment, and that what they're saying is how distasteful that was, you know, and him going to the Oscars. Yeah, that's the perfect correlation of comparing him going back to the Oscars to her being brutally murdered. And then, of course, the comments go further. The more Chris opens his mouth, the more we understand why Will Smith slapped the taste out of his mouth. And then finally, somebody said something that I have been saying all along. They crucified Jada for an action that Will did. Jada didn't go on stage and slap the taste out of his mouth. She didn't do that. That was not the action that she did. He did. So the further on top of that particular comment, it goes to, of course, you know, the racial disparity. That because, you know, Nicole Brown Simpson was a white woman who was brutally murdered, you know, people are coming to her defense. But when a Black woman is crucified in the manner that Jada was, you know, it almost feels like, you know, Black women are still just, we're worthless and we can be tossed aside because nobody came to her defense. So I guess what my question is.
What's your question?
Is in lieu of new information, are y'all still on the same, in that same lens of looking at, I guess, Chris Rock as the victim in this? Do you still feel that Jada has ruined Will Smith's life? Or do you think that Chris has, you know, people are calling him misogynistic and a woman hater? You know, do you think that his jokes when it comes to women and whatever the issues that they have, murder, alopecia, whatever else is going on with women, is it just simply distasteful? So what are your opinions on that?
While we're waiting on some opinions on that, I will say for compliance issues that Mr. Simpson, O.J. Simpson, was found innocent in a court of law. since you brought up the fact about, it was talking about that incident that happened.
Mm-hmm. He was found innocent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I have my own personal opinions as everybody else does, but the fact of the matter remains is that for that particular crime, right, the crime of murder, uh, for the murder charge, he was found innocent. He never went to jail for that. But that's not the question at hand. The question is about Chris
Okay.
Rock.
Okay. Doesn't look like anybody's weighing in on that. So you want to go ahead and give your.
Well, my opinion is that, I said it then and I say it now. I did not appreciate how people attacked Jada, right? Is that no matter what you feel about somebody, your personal opinion, on somebody, Jada and Will have been married for 25 years and for probably over 25 years. So they bring up all kinds of unnecessary stuff. There's always a conversation around Tupac, and all of that. But, you have to understand that these people knew one another. They all went to school together, in all of the things. And they were, gifted and talented in their rights. So one thing had nothing to do with the other. I find that it was very, very distasteful for the comment that Chris Rock made about, Jada and the whole G.I. Jane thing, because she does suffer with alopecia, right? And then, so for me, it's from my comments really are based on the whole social media attack on this woman. But when it comes to Chris, like I said, that comment was very, very distasteful. And then for you to come back around and do yet another completely distasteful, comment, her being brutally murdered or going back to the restaurant really has nothing to do with you hosting an award show. So, maybe he's that kind of guy who is on the, does these on the edge comedic skits to try to get some attention, but it's not the good attention as far as I'm concerned. I just think that, I don't really care for him. I've always liked Chris Tucker. I always thought that Chris Tucker was way funnier than Chris Rock anyway.
Yeah, Chris Tucker is really, really funny.
When I find people, and this is anybody, the way that you elevate yourself is by stepping on the backs and necks of other people. I find that problematic.
Well, now you're saying that that's what Chris Rock does, because all comedians make jokes about people. There are people, no one's off limits. So, I mean, it gets kind of, do I agree that comedians, not just Chris Rock, kind of go over the edge? Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, right? But I'll tell you, she's on The View right now. Is it The View? Cheryl Underwood.
Mm-hmm.
I remember some friends of mine when I was living in Cali years ago. Cheryl has always been funny. And we went to see her. My buddy actually got, good seat. We were actually right up front, right? And I always tell you, don't sit up front at a comedian show. And she went in on me. I'm there about my darkness. The lighting was dark, low in the room. And everyone laughed. I'm laughing, right? So comedians are always going to talk about somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we might have going on now, Janet, is kind of a awakening up of that. Yeah, they've always done that, but do we have to take it now? That doesn't make it right. No, so people are now starting to speak up more about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I feel about it. What's happening right now as far as comedians and the jokes about people and what people are going through. They're always going to say no one's off limits. And there's always going to be definitely at least two different sides to this, right?
So, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and you do have a point. But I think that where the issue lies with him and Will and Jada is that, he takes these opportunities. It's like, he said different things over the years, about, she's always seemed to be like the butt of his jokes in some kind of way. And most of the time, because then the media, he'll say something and then the media will come to her. Well, what do you think about, what Chris Rock said, and she just pretty much disregards it. But that has been going on for a whole lot of years, right? And so this particular time, because I'm reading something in 2016 at the Academy Awards show, where he directed a punchline at her when she refused to attend in order to protest the award show lack of diversity. So she didn't go to the award show because she was protesting their lack of diversity. That is her option, right? Okay, and we know that they do have an issue with diversity. That's just the bottom line to that. But he says Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. Okay? Adding, I wasn't invited. Oh, that's not the invitation I would turn down. So, I mean, that's one thing.
Well, I mean, of course, I remember that boycotting. Did it accomplish anything?
Well, if I don't know if it accomplished anything or not, but that was her. That's just like me saying something that that I'm not gonna do. I don't go to I don't go certain places for my own personal reasons. So am I boycotting? Well, I'm not spending my time at these particular venues or locations. Does anybody care? Probably not. They don't care about me. I mean, I'm not a celebrity.
I mean,
so I know that, I guess my bottom line to that part is that there is a history with Chris constantly saying something about Jada. Okay, there's that history there. And, of course, me being the person who likes to get to the roots, I just want to know what is the issue? What is the issue? Did she not date you when you wanted to? I mean, I don't understand why you always seem to be coming for her. But
maybe she's and their lifestyle, her lifestyle, his lifestyle are just good material for comedians. Chris not the only one that's cracked jokes about Jada.
Well, he's the only one that Will slapped. So I don't know.
Especially facts for that one.
I don't know. So, babe, what is the other thing that
we got to move along here. We were on a roll talking about Louis, and we had a technical issue there where something happened in the neighborhood. The internet went out, came right back on. Great service from our internet provider. So we want to hop back on here, and we didn't want to leave anybody hanging. So we talked about the Lumi. We talked about the Chris Rock thing that's going on right now. He brought up the Nicole Brown, who was brutally murdered with Ron. I'm sorry, I apologize. I can't remember Ron's last name. I was in Cali at the time when all this was happening, or happened rather. I think that was the main two things that we were going to talk about today.
I tell you, we got a ton of feedback when my brother came on the show. We had a ton of feedback, in talking about, manhood in his manhood initiative, and talking about the, just how men, who's there for, who helps the man to develop. And he gave us some really, really interesting and wonderful nuggets, from a male perspective, right?
Yeah,
and being awesome. a leader in his community. What were you going to say, babe?
I said, no, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
I really enjoyed it.
we have asked him to come back on. I know that he's been on vacation this week, and it's he and my sister-in-law's anniversary, so hopefully they're doing something spectacular.
Mhm.
But as soon as we can have an opportunity to have him back on, we will. Because there are some. I think that that's a conversation. It's probably a series of conversations that
Right.
need to be had, as far as men are concerned, right, babe?
Right. And that's definitely an agenda we can get behind and support. So really excited to have that going. We're gonna do a not it's probably not gonna be next week, but we earlier we were talking, we're gonna do a food lovers week or foodie week. We're gonna have some
Hmm.
people on each day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, hopefully more than one, maybe a couple. We'll see who's available. Hopefully restaurant owners, just good old food lovers, right? But we also want to couple that with if you have a food business, let us know. We'd love to have you on. Doing food week will probably be week after next because Monday we're gonna have it's gonna be real estate,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're gonna have some real estate professionals on, guys, and we're gonna pick their brain about the current happenings in the real estate market
Hmm.
and how
And I
you
think
can.
that another thing, babe, is that while we're talking about small businesses here in the Fayetteville area, we have there are ones that I want to two of them that I want to shout out. There's one that's a cigar spot. And do you remember the name of it?
No, but I can find out real quick.
Okay. So uh when we came here, those of you who don't know, Sam is an avid lover of cigars. He goes and gets his cigars, he chills, he likes his single malt scotch with his cigar,
Telling all my business.
telling all your business. And so there was a place, the only place that we really knew, that he would go to, and get his cigars and all of that kind of stuff. Then we found this we were downtown one day and stopped at a this other place that I want to mention. It's a sit and sip where she does wines, and and it's a really really nice vibe, right? She's a woman of color. She told us that her husband owns a cigar spot that was right around the corner from where she was. And it as we learned more, it was him and three of his army buddies. They decided to go into business together. And so they have this little cigar spot. And the reason that I'm excited about this is because, well, it gives Sam a place to go with his community, right? Because we all want to we no matter who you are and as diverse as we are, we still like to see people in our community and spend time with those business professionals. And that mindset, it helps us to continue to grow mentally, right? And Sam is always looking for some friends, quite frankly, because he's usually, if he's usually in my world. And so I am surrounded by most of the places that we go to by my family or my friends. And his friends and his family, although we're always so scattered far away, he doesn't get to spend that kind of time with him. And so wherever we go, he's always looking for some like-minded people. And I'm also excited because my sister would enjoy this place too. So we went there, and it was a really really nice vibe. And if you're in this area, you may want to go over there and like support that small business as well as his wife's business, which is the sit and sip. Very nice people and very nice businesses. I
Yeah, her business is the sip room, the
so she,
wine
hmm
bar. Yeah.
yeah.
Let me grab the website for that as well, and I'll post it real quick.
So I think that there's like a lot of happenings, right? That that are really, really conducive to what all of us are like looking for. there's something for everybody. You just have to delve in.
You got to get out there, man, and see what's in your surrounding. Like, I've never been the person to say, oh, any place I've lived at, oh, there's nothing here. There's something in every place. It's always what you make it, right? It's always what you make it.
And I also think that while we were talking about what my brother does in the whole manhood initiative, I think that also lends to us talking about, a man's place in the household, right? So, of course, my brother did give me some staggering statistics about, what happens when fathers aren't in the homes. And I guess the other side of the question is, I do believe the necessity of fathers being a part of an intricate part of the children's lives.
Integral.
Right? An integral. I'm sorry. I'm off right now. An integral part of their children's lives, right? But sometimes you have situations where for the woman and the man, it's really not conducive. It's simply not, for whatever the reasons are, right? So I would really, like for us to be able to delve into the pros and cons, right, of those types of situations, and just talk about how people navigate through all of it. How we navigate through all of it.
Well, you mean some other time, because I think we kind of lost our audience. We're not getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah, some other time, not right now, because right.
So we want to hop back on. If you're on with us now, we had a little technical issue where we got disconnected from our internet. Went out, came right back up, which is, I'm impressed with the service we have, and it's probably because of where we live at. Maybe we live at. We know it's Friday, guys. We're going to be on it for maybe another 2-3 minutes or so. Or maybe let's go ahead and shut it down, Jan.
Yeah, because we are at 9:54. Yeah. So we apologize for the technical issues that we had on our side. And I understand that, things happen that are completely out of our control. We did come back and want to let you guys know that we didn't just ghost you.
This was our first big tech glitch. Actually, that's too slow, huh, to go out on. Let's just keep it. Let's keep it the way we normally do it. Ain't no sense in changing nothing.
Right.
It ain't broke, so we're not changing it.
We do appreciate every time you guys come and spend some time with us on our coffee chat. And oh, look.
Yeah, everybody's at work now.
So we will be back on Monday. And yeah, we made it back.
We'll never leave you hanging. That's our motto. That's our mission. Our what?
I don't know what.
That's our tagline for the day.
We'll never leave you hanging. We were having a really nice conversation before we had the little glitch. And this just shows you the importance, right, of capturing those moments, those hot moments, and being able to move forward. But when you're stopped, it kind of stops. It stops the mobility. But that's okay. So you're going to see Fantasia tonight, huh? That should be really, really cool. Where is she performing? You said heading up north. Is up north in Indiana, or is it
going
north
by yourself, or what? Where's easy? Let me see if we're gonna get an answer to that one. How much she going? Stuff with that. Don't get quiet now.
Oh, she ain't saying nothing.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
And she's getting ready to go to Costa Rica. Yes, in Hammond with your sister. That's pretty cool. That's dope. With Kim. When was she supposed to be in Cincinnati? Oh, over the summer.
Yeah. I didn't know there was another sister.
Yeah, Rhonda actually has 2 other sisters, I believe, aside from Angel. But Fantasia does a lot. Fantasia does do a lot. I was watching a video of her where she was kind of, going off on the on one of the technicians because her mic wasn't working. This is how I make my money, cuz you are not about to be messing up my flow. Y'all should have checked this ahead of time. You better fix it.
Right.
I used to enjoy the annual music fest. I used to enjoy going, like in Chicago, they used to have these outdoor concerts and all kinds of people, artists used to be there. I loved it. So she has a total of 4 sisters.
Wow.
Because her father had all them daughters. I have a total of 3 sisters. That's right. And one of them passed away. I forgot about that. Okay, babe. So, I mean, if we talked about Chris Rock and what's going on with him. And I guess you ladies weren't on there to give your opinion, but he's on the hot seat again because of a joke that he made about Nicole Brown Simpson. We were just kind of asking where people think, where are your opinions now that he has done this again. Smooth Jazz Fest here this weekend. You volunteer on Saturdays.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, Pat. I remember when I did my blues festival in Cali, and I had people calling me up to volunteer. That's how they came and volunteered. There's a couple I met that they were like the best people I ever met living in Cali. They came and volunteered and they did so much. So I'm chatting them up. They go, no, this is what we do year round. We find these festivals in the state of Cali, so they're all over the state. They get to see, they get in, because you don't charge to volunteer because they're helping you with the show and whatnot. And they have a great time. A retired couple. They love
That's
blues.
What I did when the first time I saw Luther Vandross in concert. That's how I was able to do that, because I was volunteering. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Volunteers make the show go. Anyway, you feel like a burger today?
Sure.
Without any mishaps like we had last Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hopefully. Yes. That would be lovely.
All right. We can get there right when they open.
Your boy wants to go as well.
No, negative.
He has been locked up for days. You see how he bolted out the house yesterday?
Lock him up. Lock him up.
Somewhere.
You don't need to go nowhere.
He needs to go. He said on G Radio all the time, like, please take me. Please take me.
Nope. Okay, go ahead and shut this down, guys. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. You guys be safe. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now. We appreciate